Good morning to one and all. On behalf of Amity University in Tashkent, we feel elated and honored to welcome the gathering of scholars of various technical domains for their gracious presence on the third International Conference on Technical Advancements in Computational Sciences, organized by Amity University Tashkent under the IEEE Kazakhstan subsection. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome the session chairs of the technical session, Professor Dr. Mandeep Kaur, Head PhD Cell, Sharda University, India, and Dr. Yugananda Puri. Am I right, Rama? It's Yugananda. Yugananda Puri, Associate Professor, Bharati Vidyapeeth College of Engineering, New Delhi, for being with us amidst their busy schedule. Thank you for accepting our invitation. Now, before getting into the session, I am privileged to introduce the session chairs to the scholastic crew. So, first we have Dr. Mandeep. Dr. Mandeep Kaur currently holds the position of Associate Professor at the Department of Computer Science and Engineering within Sharda University. Her impressive academic journey spans over 17 years, during which she has taught at various technical universities and institutions. Dr. Kaur is an active member of several professional societies, including senior member IEEE, ACM, EI, IFERP, IAENG, and others. Dr. Kaur's impressive track record includes the publication of over 60 patents, with more than 12 patents granted. She has also contributed to the academic community by writing 4 book chapters in Springer and WC's Press and authoring over 70 research papers in internationally recognized Scopus and SCI index journals and conferences. Her dedication extends to mentoring and guiding research investigations for undergraduates, postgraduate engineering students, and PhD scholars, with a focus on areas such as image processing, software engineering, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and soft computing. Heartily welcome to you, Dr. Mandeep.
Thank you, Dr. Pranav. Thank you so much.
Next, we have Dr. Yugnanda. Dr. Yugnanda is currently serving as the Dean of Research and Development at Bharati Vidyapeeth College of Engineering, affiliated to GGS IPU, New Delhi. She holds a doctorate degree in optical system design from Thapar University. With expertise in the field, she has explored new frontiers in the field and was nominated for DST Serve Government of India Research Project under the Young Scientist Scheme. In more than 20 years of her teaching career in different reputed institutes across the country, she has published several research papers in various journals and conferences of national and international repute. She also serves as a reviewer of various prestigious international journals. Her commitment to academia goes beyond administrative responsibility, as she is an enthusiastic mentor guiding next generation of scholars. Hearty welcome to you, Dr. Yugananda. Now, I will announce the instructions. The presenters are requested to kindly note them down. Dear presenters, the presentation time will be of 8 minutes. The QA session will be of 2 minutes. The presentation will be evaluated for 10 points, which are split as 4 points for the technical contribution, 2 points for the methodology, 2 points for the discussion on results and analysis, 2 points for the presentation. The participants are requested to stick to the timings. We wish every presenter good luck. Now, I would like to call upon the presenters one by one. So let me just stop my sharing. Yeah, it's several. Right. Now, I would like to request the paper ID 48 with the title Leveraging Unity 3D and Vuforia Engine. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Now I would like to request paper ID 48 with the paper title Leveraging Unity 3D and Vuforia Engine for Augmented Reality Application Development. Can you please?
Good morning, sir. Good morning, session chairs. I'm sharing my PPT now. I hope this is visible.
Yeah, this is visible. Please start the slideshow and if possible, switch on your video as well.
All right, sir.
Okay.
So the topic of my paper is leveraging Unity 3D and Vuforia engine for augmented reality application development. So this is not. So the content of my PPT includes abstract, introduction, literature review, research cap, objectives, the proposed framework, results, and future enhancements, and some of the references. So the abstracts, so what I have done in this paper is that we have developed a framework for the development of an application for the primary.
Miss Meenu, you are not audible. Miss Meenu, you are not audible. I think she is having some technical difficulties. I think she was having some problem. Now I would like to call upon paper title 244, FG Architecture of Bilateral Filter for Image Denoising.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Let me share. Is it visible?
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay. So the title of my presentation is FPGA Architecture of Bilateral Filter for Image Denoising. My name is Vaibhav Kushwaha and I am MTech student in Electrical and Communication Engineering in IS College of Technology, Bhopal. These are the contents of my presentation. It contains abstract, introduction, literature survey, proposed architecture, results and discussion, conclusion, future enhancement, and references. So, in signal processing, noise is a general term for unwanted modification that a signal may suffer during capture, transmission, processing, or storing. So, image or video signals are corrupted by impulse noise during acquisition or transmissions. Hence, there is a need for an efficient and consumer-friendly impulse noise removal technique. Due to the noise, the overall performance gets down, or sometimes it fails. So in this paper, we present an efficient VLSI filter implementation for image denoising and performance enhancement. We measure the comparison performance. We measure the comparison performance objectively, peak signal to noise ratio, and subjectively visual quality, and found that Debocky's 6-step wavelet filter performs better. We have used MATLAB 8.4 version for visualizing the image processing and Xilinx 14.7 version for designing the filter architecture. Now, introduction. Image processing is one form of signal processing for which we use image or video as input which is analyzed, enhanced, or manipulated either to extract data or to improve the quality. Their output may either be image or set of characteristic or parameter related to the image. Image deionizing is reducing or removing noise from a noisy image, making it clearer, clearer, so as to restore the true image and more suitable for analysis or visual perception. As noise, edge, and texture are high frequency components, so it is difficult to distinguish in the process of deionizing, and the deionized image could inevitably lose some details. Now, in introduction, filtering is widely used to filter or reduce the noise in image and video processing for various applications. Guided filter has been proposed recently and become very popular filtering method. It has an advantage that the hardware architecture of the guided image filter can be embedded in mobile devices to achieve real-time high-definition application. The implementation of VLSI-based filter design is the main motivation for this research work. Now, in literature survey, we have studied many research papers of last 15 to 20 years, and some of them are mentioned here in a tabular form. The first author name is R. Yao, whose work was published in 2022, and he proposed a compact hardware architecture for bilateral filter with the combination of approximate computing.
Mr.
And-
Vaibhav, if you can summarize the literature survey, there is no need to read each and every word written on your slide. You may summarize the literature survey.
Okay. So the outcome we have got from the literature survey that the previous methods used more adder, and thus they require a more area. Thus they require more area for and the overall data rate is also low, frequency is low, and the delay is more. This is the flowchart of the proposed architecture. First, the image is taken as input, then it goes to the pre-processing where resizing, rescaling of image is done to bring it into proper format for initialization. Now the image is initialized and ready for further processing. Then features of the image is extracted, as image is a collection of pixels, which is a combination of RGB values. So the system gathers the data. Now the filtering is done using by implementing the wavelet filter. After denoising, inverse wavelet filter is implemented to compensate for the effect of unwanted filtering. Then we introduce inverse feature transform for the reconstruction of image by the values, and then the final output is generated. Now the parameter like area, latency, power, frequency, etc. are calculated, and the final result is generated. These are the steps that are followed for image processing. These are same as the flow chart. First, we will give image to the MATLAB environment. Then the pre-processing is done, and then image initializing and the feature extraction is done in the MATLAB environment. Then the VLSI implementation of wavelet and inverse wavelet filter is done, and the reconstruction of image is done by applying inverse feature transform. Now all the results are tested in the test bench, and all the calculators like latency, frequency, etc. are calculated. Here we can see the sample image that has to be taken as input. This is the image initialization process in the MATLAB environment. Here the image is initialized for further extraction of features. This is the top module of the proposed filter that is designed in the Xilinx environment. It is the top view of RTL of image filter.
Mr. Weber, your time is almost up. I request you to please conclude your paper.
Okay, sir. This is the simulation result. Here we can see the method we have used is a wavelet technique. The area that required is 11.71 millimeter square. Delay is 0.897 nanosecond. Power is 0.082 watt. Power delay product is 81.5. Frequency is 1114 megahertz, and total overall data rate is 8912.0000 pixels per second. By comparing the result from the previous, we have seen that by using wavelet technology, the frequency frequency and overall data rate is increased, and the bounded input output boxes, number of DSPs, and lookup tables are decreased. By simulation result, we can say that the performance of our proposed image deionizing technique improves parameter value as compared to the existing image compression technique. The filter architecture is to optimization for improvement in the filtering performance level as to reduce delay level and power consumption also. The architecture requires less time due to the image filtering process. The frequency achieved by our proposed filter is 1114 megahertz, while previous was 236.697 megahertz. The slice lookup table is using 418 fully, and lookup flip-flop player is 254. Bounded input output boxes are 57, and number of DSPs is 8, and the overall throughput also increases. Now for future enhancement, our work is to reduce the carry propagation unit for required filter architecture to optimize the filter architecture and reduce the delay level and power consumption also. The architecture is to optimize the internal gate count level and enhance the carry selection process in the PPG unit in multiplier architecture. The adder and multiplier unit fully placed in the filter architecture, and reduce the filter running time due to image processing unit. These are the references. All references are taken from IEEE Digital Library. And thank you
Thank you,
for your
Mr.
time.
Weber. I would
Mr.
now
Weber,
request the session chairs to please take over and
Mr.
share their
Weber,
observations. Dr.
a suggestion for you, Mr. Weber, while presenting, as Mandeep ma'am said, you need to summarize your work. Whatever you have written on the screen is quite readable, and we can also read the same.
Yes,
It is
ma'am.
always better because you were just reading the lines on the screen, which is not the right way. So now, since you're just an MTech student and you have many more, things to attend and move forward in your life, so just improve this point. And
Yes,
I
ma'am.
just
Sure,
have
ma'am.
one question. I just have one question, not going into much detail of your paper though, but your topic was bilateral filtering, right? For the
Yes, ma'am.
basic thing. So what is one difference that you would like to quote between the double bilateral filtering method and the classical bilateral filtering method? Any difference? Bilateral filtering has two aspects: double filtering method and the classical. What is the difference? Since you have chosen such a topic, so the awareness around the topic is also an important part. It's okay. If you don't know, just search about it and get the answer, right? Yes,
Okay,
Mandeep,
sure, ma'am.
if you have any question.
Yeah, thank you so much. Weber, I must say that it's a nice work. Well, I have very a simple question to you. You have mentioned there the noise ratio, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So may I know what is the SNR ratio you have taken into account here in your work? You might have used some filtering methods to remove the noise. What
Yes,
is it SNR ratio you have worked on? What was before and after applying? What is that kind of pre-processing might during pre-processing you have done it? How you have improved it? Signal to noise ratio, SNR. All right. Do you have an idea what is wavelet transform?
Ma'am, wavelet transform.
Mhm. Okay, which wavelet function you have used for filtering or maybe for finding out the features, especially for feature extraction?
Ma'am, we have used Debocki's 6-step
Right.
wavelet.
All right. Thank you so very much, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Vaibhav. You may now switch off your video. Then please remain in the meeting and please fill the
Okay, sir.
feedback form that I have shared in the chat. Next, I would like to request paper ID 413 with the paper title Panels Performance Analysis of Node Localization Scheme in WSNs. Next, I would like to request paper ID 413, the title. Okay.
Yes, good morning and all. This is Yogendra Mohan from Delhi Technology University, Delhi. And so let me share my screen, please. First. Is it visible to everyone, ma'am?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Shall I start now?
Yes, sir, you may start the slideshow.
Thank you. My topic is performance analysis of node localization scheme in wireless sensor network. And this is Yogendra Mohan from DTU. These are the contents: abstract, introduction, existing system, related work, proposed model, result and discussion, conclusion and future enhancement, and references. So the paper is regarding the node localization. And node localization is a process of finding the position of a known node that is not GPS enabled. And the purpose of doing this, actually, sometimes once we are going to deploy the GPS enabled sensor, sometimes the GPS enabled sensor itself is not able to share their position or know their position because of some obstacle. So node localization is required in that scenario in case of underwater or indoor or some places where the network is very weak. In that case, unknown node are required there. So regarding that, I have chosen the node localization, and in this localization,
Mr. Yogendra,
we
I
use
would
the
like
RSSI
to,
method.
Mr. Yogendra, your voice is actually not clear at my end. It's quite
Okay, ma'am.
feeble.
So,
Sir, your voice is breaking up.
just going
Your
to
voice is
increase
breaking.
No, it's not, it's breaking a bit.
just increasing the volume, maybe. I may be
Sir,
audible.
you may try to switch off your video, then try to present. That might help.
Okay, might be with bandwidth issue. So,
Please try to switch off your video and then continue.
sure, sir. So, am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
I'm audible. Okay,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you. Thanks a lot. So, now node localization, I'll be doing in the this work node localization. Then in this localization, I am using RSSI method. RSSI method for the measurement of the distance and then further position. And once the position is determined, that will not be accurate. So we are going to apply the one optimization algorithm, that is Siegel optimization algorithm. Siegel optimization algorithm, it is already used by the other authors, and they use the random number distribution approach. And I have been modified our algorithm using the algorithm that is meta heuristic algorithm, and name is Siegel optimization algorithm. And in that, I'll be using the chaotic map. And using the chaotic map, we will again compute the average node localization, computation time, and the error. And then I will compare my result with the existing system, that is Siegel optimization with the random number. So these are related work, and so I would like to come to the point. Otherwise, I think I have the more than 30 pages. So if you are giving the permission, then I will come to my work. Otherwise, if you are giving the time, then I can read the related paper, ma'am.
Please
So
move
what
to
should I
your
do now?
proposed
Actually,
work. Please move to your proposed work.
oh, thank you, ma'am. Because the number of PPT is more, I think it will take more
But
time.
before that, I would like that we would be hearing about the summarization of your literature survey, how you have reached to your proposed model.
Yeah,
What
yes,
what were the
sure, sure.
drawbacks in the previous
Sure,
systems?
sure, ma'am. So, actually, in this work, after the literature survey, I found that one thing, the method, it is used RSSI, but somehow there is the problem in taking the suitable constant. Without calibration, if I am going to take the constant and coefficient, then accuracy will be less. So, before going to start or using the RSSI method, we have to calibrate RSSI method using the formula that is in the RSSI method that is used now, and using that formula, once the coefficient or constant it is now it is decided, and then on the basis of that, if you are going to measure the distance of the unknown node, in that case we will be able to find the better accuracy for the unknown node that is not GPS enabled now. So this is the thing that I found from my literature review. And second thing, most of the author have written computed the RSSI value using the normal random number distribution approach. In this one, I use the chaotic map for the deployment of the after deployment, the searching of the unknown node, and that giving the better the result. So this is the gap that I found in my in the literature survey. And then after, ma'am, I just designed this model. This model is telling everything about my paper. This is a very high level diagram. Here we are deploying the sensor node and some anchor node that is there. Then we are computing the distance and the error, and then we are applying the fitness function, and that fitness function is actually the difference between actual distance node deployed and the calculated using the RSI's method. So there is a difference. So that difference is error actually. So this error we will minimize using the chaotic map and conventional SOA method, CSOA method, that is chaotic Siegel optimization algorithm, and SOA, it is a Siegel optimization algorithm. So both results we are comparing, and we found that the proposed method have the better result with respect to node localization accuracy and the computation time and the total number of node that is not deployed, that is error. So this is the model, our model. On the basis of this model, we have simulated our work. So how very first, by the way, it is not mentioned in my PPT. So very first, using the RSI method, we will calculate the distance. Then using the trilateral method, we will calculate the position. And then we are computing the difference. And once difference is computed, that becomes the fitness function that we are applying here. And that fitness function, it is modified and applied with the SOA algorithm, and then we are calculating the results. So this is the algorithm that is applied in our chaotic map and SOA algorithm. And then after, in this one, very first we have deployed the Siegel agent in the sensor field, and then after we are applying the computing the fitness function of the each Siegel on the basis of this chaotic map, and then after we are applying the algorithm applying the search process, and then we are finding the position of the target node, that is a known node. So there are two possibilities. Our agent,
Dr. Mohan, can you please hear me?
Yes.
Sir, your time is almost up. We request you to please conclude your paper.
Sir, but I couldn't. Just give me 2 minutes. I will try to finish now. Then I'll directly come to the conclusion.
Okay, sir.
So thank you, sir. So shall I start?
Yes, sir. Please continue.
Sir, shall I start? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir. Please
So
continue.
then after Then after, there are two possibilities. We will be very close to the target node, that is our unknown node. And if not, then again this process we will repeat, and again we are calculating the fitness function, and again we are comparing with the target solution. If you are getting the better result, then our process it is terminated, and then after the analysis part it is done there. Then after now, so in the proposed model, by the way, this is the data that is that is after simulation I got, and 3 parameter it is took into for the comparison, and that is average node localization, average error, and total computation time for the target node.
Yogendra,
Then these
please
are the
conclude
different
your
scenarios.
PPT. Please conclude that.
Sure. Okay, ma'am. Sure. So coming quickly now. So these are the sensitive deployment scenario, and then 6 different cases I took now, and then after these are the 3 results. One, it is the average node localization. In this case, we found that the minimum accuracy it is how much, 68.4. If I am taking the number of target node, it is 15, and it is 97.2. If you are taking the number of anchor node is equal to 90 and target node is equal to 150. Similarly, here this is the computation time, and it is the data that it is increasing along with the number of anchor node if we are going to increase and target network. Similarly, here is the average node localization error. It is reducing along with the number of target node and anchor node. We are increasing from 25 to 50 and 15 to 60. That is, and the so this is the conclusion part, ma'am. So I found that the chaotic map that is proposed along with the chaotic SOA algorithm, it's giving the better result as compared to the conventional algorithm, that is Seagull optimization algorithm.
We have seen
So this is all.
you have done a lot of work, Yogendra ji, into it.
Right,
I have 2 small queries to you. Number
Sure,
one,
sure.
I would like to know that what is that load balancing you have taken into consideration for your work? I mean, what is the
Right now,
maximum
actually,
number of the loads you can accommodate in your architecture? Is there any limit?
yes, ma'am. Ma'am, limit, I think because existing paper they calibrated this one from 25 target node and 15 anchor node, that is GPS enabled node, and then it is checked till the 90, and at once we are going to increase the number of GPS enabled sensor node, that is 90 here, then we are getting the result that is 97.2%.
What is the
One
maximum
thing that
number
you
of
are
the
asking
nodes? Yeah, what is the maximum number of the nodes that can be
Yes,
accommodated?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That is now seen in this figure. Now, total number of anchor node, that is GPS enabled node, it is 90, and total number of target node it is 150. In this scenario, ma'am, 97% node we are able to determine using this approach.
All right. 97%.
By the way, ma'am, one thing, there is a possibility if I'm going to further increase the number of anchor node, then chances are more some more node we will be able to find out. But I have done only up to this much now, and we get the accuracy that is 97 point.
All right. Can you move to slide number 5?
Slide number
5.
5. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you have considered here RSSI.
Right.
What is the specific reason of choosing it?
One reason, ma'am. First thing, this is not required any hardware equipment for doing this one. So this is hardware independent. If I'm going to use the other method, then that is just like angle of aviation, and also some set of hardware is really required there.
So
And
what is that differentiation of these different methods? You might have done some kind of analysis on it.
Yes, ma'am. This from the literature survey, I found that the first thing that I found now, they are dependent on hardware. This is the one thing, and this RSSI method can be applied where exact accuracy is not required. Exact position is not required. In that scenario, we can apply the RSSI.
I would suggest if you can do some kind of parametric differentiation among the algorithms, that would be giving you the more clarity of choosing your RSSI.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Ma'am, one more thing, just 1 minute I want to add now. If you are looking for very accurate position, then we have the deterministic algorithm. We cannot apply the this meta-heuristic algorithm. For that, there is a centralized approach, and in this one, we will get apply the deterministic algorithm. And using deterministic algorithm, we can calculate the more accurate position.
Nirangana ma'am, up to you, ma'am. Please.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mandeep ma'am. You've already asked many questions, and I'm very satisfied with whatever questions you've asked. Thank you so much.
All
I have
right.
no questions from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yogendra. You may now stop sharing your screen.
Thanks, ma'am. Thanks.
I request you please fill the feedback form that I have shared in the chat box. Next, I would like to request paper ID 48, with paper title Leveraging Unity 3D and Vuforia Engine for Augmented Reality Application Development. Please start sharing.
Yeah, just one.
Ms. Minu, can you please start?
Yes, sir. Sir, I'm so sorry, but I cannot switch on my camera. Reason being the internet
It's
problem.
okay. Here it's all right. I understand that. Please continue with the presentation.
So the topic of my paper is leveraging Unity 3D and Euphoria engine for augmented reality application development. So the reason why I have chosen this topic is that I have done a training on AR development, AR application development. So when I was going through it, I did a lot of survey, I did a lot of literature review, and then therein I found that the application of AR is being emphasized on business, more on healthcare, more on real estate and other segments. But the application of AR application is missing in the primary education. So I have focused on that. And reason being is why AR is that AR is immersive, and but it is less immersive as compared to VR, that is virtual reality. So when we do AR, when we use AR applications, so that may give an immersive experience to the students to develop the concept. So for example, if we are teaching something that we are showing the pictures to the students, so rather than only showing the pictures, we can give them actual 3D models. We can show them that how it actually looks like. So in this paper, based on that, so I'll go through the research gap here. So the research gap, as I told you, that there has been applications in the other subjects, but it is missing somewhere in the primary education level. And the considerable research is also lacking while for designing an application. So in this, it is not only for entertainment, rather it can be used in developing the cognitive and education retention also. And why AR? Being that there had been already a lot of investment in AR and VR, and as per the surveys, there will be a growth in this segment, and it is widely acknowledged that the development of only in the computational thinking, but it will also help in defining the problems. It will also help in finding the potential solutions for the problems. So I'll go through my objectives of the study. So the objectives of the study is to find out uh, the author have proposed the framework for making the application using the Unity 3D game engine. So I have done a lot of survey and based on this literature review. So the first thing So it was the earliest paper in AR in education was published in 2002, wherein the benefits were discussed, but it was not the what will be the magnitude of the impact of AR in the education was not being determined. But now there have been studies that determines that the potential application, and it also determines the potential benefits of using AR. This is the continuum that was developed in 1994 by Milgram. So which states that the different segments, or we can say it is a continuum that defines the real and virtual world. So let's go from the left hand side. So that is the reality, that is the real world, that is reality. 360-degree video is kind of immersive storytelling. Augmented reality is that, for example, like Pokemon Go. So wherever we are putting our phone, so the Pokemon was being find out. So it was kind of a it is an example of markerless AR. In this paper we have done made the application for marker based AR. So we have a photo that is a trigger photo, and if that photo is being scanned using a lens or the AR camera, then the 3D model appears over it. And virtual reality is it requires a specialized headsets, so that is there. Now, the framework that we have developed for AR application is that in the first step, what we do is that for building an application from the various sources, it can be Unity Asset Store, it can be sketchfab.com. There are many sources where we can we can import the 3D models or the images or audios. And in the then we use the Unity Hub to download this Unity 3D, and using Unity 3D and Euphoria SDK kit, which defines or records 2D images or simple 3D objects, and it enables the developers to position virtual objects through the camera's field of view and alter their placement in the front of lens. So we built the application. We find out the build for the app. We then take out the build for the application and for the various platforms, that it can be iOS, Android, Windows, anything. And then we upload it. We take the APK. We download the APK for it, and we can make the application. We upload it on the Play Store. And so what in this paper we have developed it for the Android phone. Reason being that for developing on iOS, it
Meenu,
is very, yes, sir.
I would like to request you to please share your results and
Yes, sir.
conclusion.
Yes, sir. So I have not included too many photos or the functioning of it. I have included only the final picture, that how does it looks like. So when it is a marker based, so we have used a trigger photo. So when that trigger photo is being scanned or a camera is placed over it, then a 3D model appears over it. So that shows that how exactly uh, what we say, how it will look like. For example, if we are showing a mountain to a primary student, so we are showing a 2D picture. But if we show them a 3D model of a mountain, or if we show them a 3D model of a terrain, so that makes a difference. The student will be able to retain knowledge, and there will be a more clarity in his mind. So that is what we are trying to do with AR application here. And there is less awareness related to how to build this AR application, which is not very tricky, which is with workshops, it can be easily the teachers or the faculties can be easily taught that how it can be built, and they can implement in their classrooms for their students.
Sorry to intervene, but you haven't explained exactly the entire criteria or the process of making this application. You just
Ma'am, these are the steps. So in this, I was explaining this. So these are the steps that are there. So in the first step, we find out the models. Let's suppose we find out the 3D model that we want to show it to the student. Now, let's suppose I want to teach a student that how actually a mountain looks like. So I will import the 3D model for mountain, and using a Unity editor, uh, Unity editor. So using a Unity Hub, I will build the application. I will make a project. In that project, I'll import my model. I'll develop that using a Euphoria SDK. So that is a plugin. So that helps in converting that 2D picture or the 3D picture for the developer so that it can be used as a virtual object. Whenever that the trigger photo is being scanned or a camera is being placed over it, so Euphoria can help in making that picture seen above that trigger photo as being shown in this. So when it is being scanned, a 3D model will appear. So the second picture is the example of a building that if a picture is being scanned, the building will appear over it, the 3D model of it.
Okay, I think Meenu, you have elaborated enough about it. I have only a simple question to you.
Yes, ma'am.
See, as you are talking about the making up of the 3D models on a paper through your camera and all, but I think these kind of the methods are already available, right?
Ma'am,
Many
these kind
people
of
are, let me complete.
yes,
These
yes,
kind
ma'am.
of the things are already available and most of the people are doing it. I just want to know that what is that add-on thing in your work which is making different from the others?
Ma'am, in this, as I told you that when I was doing the literature review, so in that the application of it and the advance, this is something which is very, when we talk about primary education, we don't take the complexities, we don't, likewise let's say, take example of healthcare only. So in the healthcare, we are, the anatomy of the human body is being explained using AR.
That's right.
But the application of it is there in the higher education or in the business aspect, we can say, but it is missing somewhere in the primary education. So that is what I am saying. And the paper focuses on building an application. The way to
So you are trying
double,
to make, you're trying to give an application which can be used for the primary
yes,
level students.
yes, primary education. So
How many
my focus
objects you have worked on in number?
objects as in, ma'am, this
Likewise,
models.
I'm seeing at your slide, I'm looking at this slide where you are showcasing a building or some kind of the camera or whatever. What are the number of the 3D objects you have created using your application?
Ma'am, likewise for I have created tree, I have created building, I have created a mountain terrain. So these I have.
In one frame, how many area targets? As
Ma'am,
what is asking, yeah.
in one frame, in one field of view, you are saying.
Yeah, how many area targets are like, how many have you considered?
Ma'am, I have considered only one at a time.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, okay. Did not find the paper much elaborative. Anyways, thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you,
so
sir.
much, ma'am. You may now stop sharing your screen. Next, I would like to request paper ID 102 with paper title Evaluating Sense Amplifier Performance in SRAM Circuits.
Yes, sir.
Please switch on your video and start sharing your screen.
Hey, is my screen visible?
We are waiting for that. Still not visible.
Just a second, sir.
Okay.
Can you see the first slide, sir?
No, your screen is not visible.
Okay.
It's showing that you had started screen sharing, but we are not able to see anything. Please try once more.
Yes, sir. I'm trying. Actually, it is taking some time.
So, Pranav sir, shall we move to another paper?
Yes, ma'am. I'm just thinking about that. Okay, next will be paper number 19, paper ID 197 with the title coordinate-oriented cluster chain-based routing protocol for wireless sensor networks. Paper ID 197. Paper ID 197, are you here? Right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ms. Soni, can you please start presenting your article?
Okay, sir. The second, I'm just sharing my screen. Sir, is it visible?
Ma'am, nothing is visible.
Sir, is it visible? I'm trying here to share my screen, but I don't know what is the problem.
We can go back and ask 102. If 102 is ready, she can join.
Paper ID 102.
Paper ID 374. Can I present? Because my paper, another paper is other track.
Okay, paper ID 374. You may please try to share your screen. Paper ID 374 with paper title Humanoid Robots that move on 2 feet and are led by vision systems.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can I present, sir?
Yeah, you may start presenting. Please share your screen.
Okay, sir. I am sharing. Sir, it is visible now.
Somebody's mic is on. There's a lot of sound coming from that
Yeah,
side.
ma'am, just muting.
It is visible now, sir.
Yes, it's visible. You may start presenting, Gaurav.
एक मिनट सर. It is another PPT. I am sharing other PPT.
What is your paper ID?
Paper ID 374.
Right.
Okay, this is paper ID 102. No, paper ID 197.
Hello, sir. Sir, is it visible? Paper ID 197.
Yes, Miss Sonia is visible. You may now start presenting, ma'am. This is paper ID 197.
197. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to everyone. Today I'm going to present my research paper on coordinate-oriented clustered chain-based routing protocol. So, I'm going to present all these abstract introduction existing system and then present the literature survey. Then I present my proposed architecture and then the results, what I achieved, and then future enhancement and the references. Okay, so actually I'm presenting, I have done the paper on wireless sensor network. So wireless sensor network, as we know, is a large number of sensor nodes, which is operated by a small batteries. So it is not possible to replace or recharge the batteries. So it is so the battery power of the sensor node should be used efficiently. So to use the battery power efficiently, I use clustering approach. Okay. There are many techniques used to use the battery power efficiently. That is power management, energy where there are a lot of energy aware routing protocols in wireless sensor exist to reduce the power consumption. But clustering is also one of the approach by which we can extend the lifetime of the network. Okay, then in my work, my network is divided. I take a clustering approach, and my network is divided into small groups, and I divide the network according to the coordinates. Okay, according to the x-axis or y-axis coordinates. So my protocol operations work on three phases: chain construction, chain head selection, and chain rotation mechanism. I use these three operations. So there are different, these are the wireless sensor net. There are different topology control approaches, and there are different type of clustering, like static.
You may
Static
skip this. You may skip this. Please move on.
Okay, ma'am. Fine. There are the different applications of
Yeah,
sensor
that is
network.
okay. Yeah.
And there are different applications of wireless sensor network. We can use the wireless sensor network in the military areas. We can use for habitat monitoring
Can you
for
come to your
animals.
proposed work by before elaborating what is the drawbacks or the gaps in the
Okay.
literature survey you have done?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
So I have my work based on these two existing system. I took the idea from these two basic existing system. One existing system is existing system is RDA algorithm. That is red deer algorithm, which is used to generate routes, so that route between sensor nodes, so that they transfer the data through that routes. So one algorithm, I took the idea from the RD algorithm, and second existing system, I took the idea from the CBRP clustering algorithm, where the clusters are of unequal size. But in existing system one, the clusters area are divided according to the y coordinates in equal parts. But in system 2, that is CBR, cluster based routing protocol, in this protocol, the area is divided into unequal parts. So I took the idea from these two systems. Then in literature survey, I proposed a different cluster head selection method, actually. Okay, there are different papers which use different methods to elect the cluster head from in a cluster. So these are the paper which are using different approaches to elect the cluster heads. So my approach is to this one. So my research methodology is what the sensor nodes are deployed randomly. Then all these nodes, initially the base station's position is finalized, and then the area is divided according to the x-axis, y-axis. I experiment by dividing the area according to the y-axis, then y according to the y coordinate, according to the x coordinate, and then in grid form. Okay, the area is divided into different forms. So then I apply RD algorithm formation to form the chain in that area, to create the chain between the sensor node inner clusters, right? And then after creating a chain, then selection of cluster head per cluster starting from topmost, means the cluster which is farther from the sync node, the cluster farther from the sync node, starting the electing the cluster head from that cluster. Then multi-hop routing of packets, means routing packets, inter-cluster routing protocol and intra cluster routing protocol. Then it is checked, sorry, something went wrong, ma'am. Okay. So I after every data transmission, the cluster head is changed. Okay. Then after that, it will check that all nodes are dead. If all nodes are dead of a particular cluster, then that the simulation gets end, and then at least one. Okay. Otherwise, at least one node. Otherwise, the second round will start for data transmission. In this way, in number of rounds.
Can you come to your results? Am I audible?
Ms. Surya, can you please come to your results and conclude the paper?
I think I've lost the connection.
Yeah.
Still sharing. Okay, I will stop.
This was
sharing.
paper ID 197, right?
Yes, ma'am. This was paper ID 197.
Okay.
I will try with paper ID 102. Evaluating sense amplifier performance in SRAM circuits. Not here. Paper ID 245. FPGA implementation of high performance accurate and approximate multiplier.
374 had started the last time when the
Yes, sir.
192 came.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
374 can continue.
He started, but he was not able to complete.
Yes.
So if you are ready, then you may start.
Yes.
Paper ID 374, humanoid robots that move on 2 feet.
It is visible now, sir.
Yes, this is
374?
visible.
374.
Right.
374.
Good afternoon to all everyone present over here. My paper ID is 374 and paper title humanoid robot that move on 2 feet and are led by the vision system. And present slide more. These are the content abstract, introduction, existing system, literature, survey, proposed architectural result, and discussion, future enhancements, and then references. These are the vision guide working for a humanoid robot, just like the combining robot and computer vision to enable the independent visually to guide in and locomotive humanoid robots, and it aims to reptile the human-like quality and skill, and this research field focus on achieving the context on
Can I
the.
take a moment here? If Yugnanda ma'am allows, can we move to directly to his work? Because I think this is very basic things and introduction part.
Exactly.
Okay.
We move further.
Please move to the part where you have done something. We would like to see that.
These are the introduction part.
Please move on.
Existing system.
Yeah, we'll talk about the existing systems later on. After looking at your work, then we'll see that what is the difference of yours.
Yeah, you can probably just give a line or so about the existing system, speak about the loopholes or gaps, and then how you have addressed it in your system. That would be a better approach. Please.
Perfect.
These are the proposed architecture, ma'am. This in this diagram, the main computer which this seems to be a central processing unit, and RTX real-time existence, and imply that the operation handled by this computer need to real-time response, and which is essential to some robots or control system application, and then is connected with a laptop or computer wireless with the main computer, possibly to remote monitoring or controlling system, and CCD cameras. These are the digital camera capture image and may send them to main computer for processing, and the frame grabber mean this device to capture individual frame that the CCD camera or video feed, and send them the main computer, and then CAN interface card, controller area network card, just like this hardware component to allow these are the main just like main computer to communicate with the controller area and network. And CAN just like the robots communication protocol of the automotive industrial application, just like. And then joint motor control, it just like the control motor likely the some robotics or mechanical application, and it communicate with the main computer or the which have the CAN bus service, uh, the CAN bus service. And the next FT sensors, FT sensor focus on just like the force torque sensor, means it measure the focus and applied to the system and send to the data and main computer from the sensors. And tilt sensor detected to the change the uh, orientation and likely to communicate with the data and main computer. And interior sensor measure the interior, which can help the understand the system. And overall overall the we can say the data flow and CCD camera send and frame grabber, which turn on the
You have further
just
slides
like the
to show some more and more elaborately? You have
sorry.
any further slides to show something in more detail?
Yes. These are the flowchart of the proposed system. There's image capture and already target was marked. And yes, if yes, then local searching and maker with the uh, local searching window maker. And this may be the system to define the prepare or specific region or the image windows, just like the identify the target or local search. If there is no, then it's a global search, and it target was not previously marked, and the system search in the entire image or to local the target value. And examination and search is done when image in the convert in the binary format. And this image this image will be only two color value, typically just like the black and white. And this is done the simplify the image and make the subsequent proposed pre-processing steps is here. And final the calculate center position and area of the target. And just identify the target and its area. And this step allow to the system understand the target size and the
Can we come to
location
the
with the
results?
image. And these are the results sections. We have to analyze the robot is a program in the response of the red light and negative predetermined destination, and improve the field of the vision through the head and the neck motions, enable the robot and to operate in the real time and adaptive need to. And the robot can trained to perform the various of the task, just like the minimal supervise and propose each just like the command using the unique algorithm. And in 2017 we have to analyze in this people, Japan, China, Japan, South Korea, and US, Germany. These are the top 5 markets in the industrial robots sales in the China market, and expanding the
Gaurav,
just like
anything
the
else you have to show it to us
these are
regarding
the
your work?
analyze of the graphical
What is your
representation.
result of the work done? This is something,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, I don't understand why are you showing all this? I mean,
These are
discuss the output of your work. You showed your algorithms, you explained the entire process, then what next?
That's right. That is what I'm looking for.
ma'am,
Can you come to the next slide?
these are the future enhancements.
Oh, see, Gaurav, you have talked about an algorithm. You talked about different sensors, which can be the part of your humanoid robot. But we were looking for something which you have created.
Yeah,
Mean,
any PO, any,
analyzing this
any program.
not implemented. It is the
So it's just an idea you are
idea
discussing here.
and
How you are going to
comprehensive.
validate this idea? On what grounds you are validating this idea? And your logic is correct. Have you validated with something? Any prototype based or?
Yeah, how are you going to test your idea basically?
Yeah.
I cannot understand.
Do we have any such labs somewhere in India who's working on these ideas? So probably you can connect to them. You would have a better idea. Did you try doing that? Try doing that.
Yes.
Where are you from basically?
I'm from GL University, Mathura, research scholar.
Mathura. Okay. Yeah, I'll just
PhD
suggest, yeah, sorry, ma'am, sorry to
No,
intervene.
no, please go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, I'll just
Yeah.
suggest that, okay, you have presented your idea, but then without testing the feasibility of it, there's probably no go ahead. All right, so my suggestion would be to search for some laboratories which will give you a platform as to implement and test your idea. That will be a better way to proceed.
Ma'am, in previous 6 months, I've enrolled in the PhD. So
That's
these
okay,
are the-
Gaurav. You have long way to go further. So
Yeah.
please focus on this, whatever ma'am has suggested you. So go for that. Thank you so very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, again, I need to ask, this was 197 or 374?
That was 374.
Sorry, ma'am, that was 374.
374.
Okay, done.
Next over, I'd like to call paper ID 245, FPGA implementation of high performance accurate and approximate multipliers.
Hello, sir. Am I
Yes,
audible?
your screen is visible, but your audio is low. Can you please increase the volume if possible?
Yeah. Is this okay, sir?
Yeah,
Yeah,
paper ID?
ma'am, this paper ID is 245.
245, okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Ms. Shani, you may start presenting.
Yeah. Good. First of all, good afternoon to everyone. Yeah.
Voice is very less, please, a little loud.
1 minute. Hello.
Mr. Shani, your voice is very low. Please speak louder if
Yeah.
possible.
Now it's okay, sir.
Yeah, now
Better.
it's much better. Thank you.
My name is Sunny Kumar Singh. I'm pursuing MTech from IS College of Technology, Bhopal, and my topic is FPGA implementation of high performance and accurate and approximate multiplier. In my PPT, I'm going to cover this context.
Your
And
slide is not moving there.
here
Yeah.
is moving.
Now it's moving.
Yeah, in my PPT, I'm going to cover this context. And coming to abstract, basically my work on the 64 into 64 bit approximate multiplier, and we are using here Vertex family FPGA IC to use the simulate the result. And coming to introduction, when we are talking about the a small application, we have already lots of ICs like microcontroller and microprocessor ICs, but we are coming to larger application like AI where we need high performance, so we have to need to go with FPGA ICs. And for improving the performance of the FPGA ID, we have to improve the area and frequency, high frequency for less latency, and we have to improve the delay time and less power consumption also. And these are the my literature survey which I studied, and first one is the my base paper, and this was the author was the S. Ulla. And after reading this survey literatures, I coming to the problem formulation was the only till now people has only implemented 16 and 32-bit digital approximate amplifier. And there we can decrease the size of the area, and we can improve the power consumption and delay time also. And these are my proposed architectures. Here first we are taking two inputs, 64 into 64, and it will come to input data bits. It will be 128, and after that it will come to partial product. And here we are seeing stage 1 to 6. It will be basically like 64 into 64 and 32 into 34 and 16 into 16 and 8 into like this. It will come up to 2. And after that partial product, it will go up to update summary, sum and carry. And this sum and carry is the nothing but combination of half and full adder. And after that we have a product multiplier. Here we are using the data multiplier to proceed the calculation. And after that we have a performance analyze. Performance analyze, we have to see the area, delay, throughput and power. And these are the proposed architecture like previous one. We have a save carry adder where we can save the carry. Like when we are using save carry save adder, first we are adding without considering carry, and then we will add carry also. After that we have a partial product also. Oh, sorry. Yeah, right. Okay. After that, I have a partial product. In partial product, like if I have a 4 bits, so we have a multiplication for the 4 into 4 bits. So first 2 bit will multiply with 4 bit, and then again we will add those 4 bit, and again third bit will multiply with 4. And like again we have a full adder, and full adder will take 3 inputs, and it will provide sum and carry, and half adder will take 2 inputs, and it will provide sum and carry. And this is the top view of the my approximate multiplier. Here we are taking two inputs for 64 bits, and output will be the 0 to 127. It's 128 bits. And these are the RTL view, combination of half header and full header. We are using actually one half header and the rest 23 full header. And sum and carry will be the forward to half header to full header, and it will go up to last full header. And again result will come back to here, and it will calculate. And these are the example results which we have taken. Like here I have taken one input for 64 bit and second one for 64 bit, and first one is like we have taken both input in hexa form, and after multiplication we are getting this output. And here we have taken second example for this is the first my first input for 64 bit and second one for 64 bit, and we are getting this result. And after coming to result, type of multiplier is we have a 64 into 64 bit, and area is 10.66%, and delay time is 1.376 nanosecond, and power is 128 microwatt, and power delay production is 44.03, and frequency is we have a 726 megawatt. And after that we have a throughput. Throughput we can calculate through the frequency and number of bits. And after that memory will be generated from synthesis report. And we are going to use FPGA, so I am taking maximum front fan out like 1 lakh. And these are my result. Basically I am we are going to implement 64 into 64 bit multiplier, but I am considering 64 because here I want to show 64 into 16 into 16. Then we are going to conclude our result 64 into 64. We can see our my proposed work is bit better than the previous work. And after coming to conclusion, yeah, we are going to implement the 64 bit approx multiplier for FPGA IC use. And total number of component or utilization area will be the 10.66, and while previous and total delay value will be the 3.48 nanosecond for 16 into 16 multiplier, and 1.376 nanopercent for 64 into 64 multiplier. And future enhance, we can implement approximate multiplier for 128 bit or 256 bits, and modification in some module like compressor array or carry save adder, and practical implement in any real-time high-speed digital multiplier we can use. And these are the references I have used. Yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you.
Okay, no questions from my side.
Yeah, only one question. A nice comparison of the work you have done with the existing one and yours with the 1616 and 6464. Well, I just want to know, is there any kind of the particular application you have worked on it? I mean, you have simulated your work on a particular application, applying the existing one and your proposed one with the two variations.
We are using Xilinx software for test bench.
All right. Okay, right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Can we move to the next paper? Pranav sir, you are mute. You're on mute.
Ma'am, paper ID 102 was not able to conclude. If you have your permission, we can ask her to conclude the paper.
Yes, sir. Sure.
Okay. Paper ID 102, you may please share your screen and present. Please remember that you have to conclude and answer the questions.
Sir, I have not even presented my
No,
work.
she has not. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. That was
Yeah.
197. I'm really
Yeah.
very sorry. I'm really very
Yeah,
sorry. That was
she has not
197.
given.
Same, yeah.
That's
That was
okay.
197. Yes, you may
Yeah.
start your presentation. Sorry.
Is my screen visible? I'm not able to turn my camera on now because
That's
It's okay.
fine.
Your screen is visible.
Yes, sir. Okay, I'm Dr. Monica Gupta. The topic of my presentation is evaluating sense amplifier performance in SRAM circuits. In the presentation, I'm going to cover the abstract introduction to SRAM array architecture, how the read operation is performed in conventional 60 SRAM cell, literature survey on existing sense amplifier designs, results and discussion. And after this, I'm going to conclude my presentation with future enhancements. So in the paper, I have examined and analyzed different sense amplifier designs. As you know that sense amplifier is the critical component that is used to perform the read operation in SRAM. So it becomes imperative to analyze their performance on the basis of read power, read delay, energy consumption per switching activity. We know that the designs changes their performance under PVT variation. So we have also analyzed the performance at different temperatures, supply voltages, and process corner just to ensure that the designs are able to adapt to the changing conditions. From the analysis, we have observed that the current large sense amplifier perform the fastest read operation while consuming the moderate amount of power and energy consumption, whereas the differential current mirror sense amplifier consume the highest power and energy and perform the slowest read operation. It is also observed that for all the designs, the fastest read operation occurs at high supply voltage, SS corner, and low temperature, while the minimum power is consumed at low supply voltages, SS corner, and high temperature. And the opposite is true at the complementary operating condition. So you all must be wondering why sense amplifier design in SRAM is a topic of discussion today. This is because SRAMs are everywhere as they consume less power and they are faster. So to keep the frequently used data and instructions, they are used as on-chip cache as can be seen in figure 1, while the slow and power-hungry DRAMs are preferred to work as main memory. So with the shift towards multi-core architecture, the amount of the on-chip cache has increased significantly, as can be seen in figure 2. The area occupied by the SRAM was only 20% in year 2004, which has now increased to more than 90% in the recent years. So it is important to analyze the SRAM architecture for faster read, low power consumption and energy consumption, because it is going to optimize the overall performance of the circuit. So this is the SRAM array architecture. This array architecture consists of SRAM array, row decoder, write column logic, and read column logic. The SRAM array has multiple SRAM cells which are arranged over several rows and columns. Now each SRAM cell can store one bit of information, either 1 or 0. Now to access a particular SRAM cell for read or write operation, first the row decoder is used to select a particular row through the word line WL, while the column multiplexer of either write column logic or read column logic is used to select a particular column using a complementary pair of bit lines BL and BLB. Now let us see the structure of conventional 60 SRAM cell. Now you can see that each SRAM cell consists of cross-coupled inverter structure to store one bit of information at nodes W and WB. And in this figure number 5, you can see the equivalent schematic of the same SRAM cell. It consists of 6 transistors, and hence the name is conventional 60 SRAM cell. We can operate this cell in hold mode, write mode, and read mode. Now, let us see how the read operation is performed in an SRAM cell. This is a column containing multiple SRAM cells. At the top, you can see a pre-charge circuit, which is driven by the pre-charge signal PCM. And at the bottom, you can see the sense amplifier, which is controlled by the sense amplifier enable signal to generate the data output as D out. During the read operation, during the first half cycle, the bit lines are pre-charged to BDD using the pre-charge circuit, and then during the second half cycle, for the word line of the selected SRAM cell, which is WL2 in this case, is pulled high. This connects the internal storage nodes to the pre-charged bit lines. Now, due to the large VDS across A to 1, you can see that there is the flow of large discharge current, I discharge, which reduces the voltage of bit line, and when this value goes below VDD by 50 millivolts, then the sense amplifier enabled signal is pulled high in the sense amplifier. Now the sense amplifier just convert the small differential voltage between bit line and bit line bar to a full swing output voltage, which is further read out through the inverter as D out. Figure B shows the status of all the control signals during read and write operation. Now, this is the existing latch type sense amplifier. In this case, as you can see that this circuit works when sense amplifier enable signal is pulled high in this circuit. It consists of a latch, a sense amplifier enable transistor M5, and an inverter.
Dr.
Yes.
Monica, you may please conclude.
Okay.
Want your results, please.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. So for the simulations, we have compared all the sense amplifier designs in terms of read delay, read power, energy per switching activity at different process corners. Supply voltages is varied from 0.9 volts to 1.3, and the temperature is varied from -40 to 125 degrees Celsius. These are the results from the process corner variations. When the temperatures are, when the transistor is fabricated, there occurs a 3 sigma variation in the attributes of the transistor. So due to this, the performance changes. So it has been analyzed on this slide, and as per the result, you can see in figure A, the read delay of all the designs suffer at Fs corner. This is because the NMOS transistors become faster and the PMOS low transistor becomes slow. And then also, despite of this, you can see that the current large type sense amplifier outperforms all the other designs and show the fastest performance, while the read power consumption is maximum at FF corner, but CLT design and LT designs consume the least power. The energy per switching activity also shows the similar trend. Now, on the next slide, you can see the results from the supply voltage variation. You can see that the CL design shows the fastest performance, whereas CLT and LT designs consume the least power. The CL design also has the benefit of consuming less energy per switching activity. Now on this slide, you can see the results from the temperature variation. We can note that the CL design still has the highest, the lowest read delay and energy consumption, whereas the differential current mirror type sense amplifier performs the slowest operation and consumes the low power and energy. This table summarizes the performance of all the sense amplifier designs at TT corner 27 degrees Celsius and 1.1 volt supply voltage. From the results, we can see that the current latch type sense amplifier perform the fastest operation and consume moderate amount of power and switching energy, whereas CLT sense amplifier performs the slowest read operation while consuming the least amount of power and energy. I would like to conclude this presentation with few more analysis results. First, you can see that none of the design is able to provide the optimized performance in terms of read delay, read power, energy per switching activity. So there is a need to propose a new design that can optimize these three parameters simultaneously and can perform effective read operation. And second, I've also noted that we have lots of static and read power reduction techniques in the literature. So we can test these techniques on these design to see whether we are able to optimize these parameters without adversely impacting the read delay. These are the references, and thank you for the presentation.
All
I'm
right,
open to
Dr.
questions.
Gupta, very, very nicely presented, and your results have been very nicely showcased. I
Thank
just
you,
have
ma'am.
one question for you. Why does this, in your graph, I could see that the read delay reduces with decrease in temperature. What is the reason for that?
Ma'am, in low power technologies, in this temperature, as the temperature reduces, the threshold voltage of the transistor also reduces, and thus the read delay reduces at lower temperatures.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank
Yeah.
you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Monica. Next, I would like to request paper ID 304 with paper title Analysis and Classification of Vertical Handover Detection in Small Scenarios Deploying Heterogeneous Wireless Networks. Ms. Himadri? Yeah.
Very
Thank
good
you.
afternoon to all. I am visible, and please let me know if my screen is visible.
Yes, you are audible and we can
Yes,
see
yes,
you.
just a moment. I am.
And just wait. Yeah, your screen is visible. You may start presenting.
Is my slide changing?
No, your slide is not changing at the moment. We can just see that you are. Yeah, slide is changing right now.
Yeah,
You
so
may
we are
click
on
on
the.
slideshow. You may click on
Please
slideshow.
click on the slideshow.
Okay. Very good afternoon. I'm Himadri Singh, and I would be presenting before you a paper on analysis and classification of vertical handover decision algorithms in small cell scenarios, deploying heterogeneous wireless networks. And it's precisely a kind of a review on the different kind of vertical handover techniques. And by reviewing these different kind of vertical handover techniques, we try to understand that in a 5G scenario, in a small cell 5G scenario, which is also known as a femto cell or a small cell, in that which handover technique would be the best. And we draw some conclusion on the basis of that, we propose an algorithm. So my contents would be the abstract, introduction, existing systems, literature survey, future enhancements, and of course the references. Now, over the last decade, with the densification of the 5G environment, or let's say the wireless environment, we have been moving from one generation to the 5th generation. Now we are on the 6th generation, as far as the research is concerned, or industrially, we are still on the 5th generation. Now, as the number of wireless headsets increase or the wireless connectivity increases, we see that we have the number of devices which are increasing. At the same time, everybody wants a multitude of services on their wireless headsets, whether it's a laptop, a TV, a phone, or a very, very, very important machine which is taking place, let's say, in an operation theater. And that in an operation theater, a doctor is using that machine to operate on a patient. Then we also have the cars like Tesla, which are known as UR LLC, which we will discuss in detail further. So we have not just that when we talk about wireless connectivity, I want to make sure that it is understandable that we are not just talking about the phones that we have in our hand. For wireless connectivity, we are also at this point in 5G, we are also talking about different devices in smart cities, and we're also talking about devices which are moving from one place to another at a very high speed. Therefore, so now this is the introduction. As I said that as we're moving from one generation to another, we have this problem of the A's, the B's, and the C's, always best connected. The word always would mean that we want to be connected at all points of time, and best connected is that it actually quantifies the kind of quality of service that I'm getting. So I want to be connected at all points of time. My mobile watch, my phone, my laptop, each and every one of my devices, which is these days, we even have inverters which have 5Gs. Therefore, I want each of my devices to be able to communicate with each other, to be able to communicate with me, and also to maybe undergo and have some operations if I want them to in an industry setup, which is a massive machine type communication system, which is one of the application of 5G. You see that different machines are communicating with one another for an industry to take place. Therefore, a handover is basically when a wireless communication setup or a UE moves from one base station to another base station. Now, as I said that it is used in several places like healthcare, dedicated private networks, and virtualized.
I think, Madhuri, we can skip this.
Yes.
And I would like to have the conclusion of your literature survey, the motivation which you got from the literature survey, and you moved to your solution part. I mean, any kind of the proposed algorithm that you were talking about.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So these are the decision algorithms that I've surveyed, and on the basis of that, this is my parametric evaluation.
Nice.
So these are the different different handover decision types: RSS, QoS, decision function, intelligent handover machines, and context based. I would want to explain each of them in just 13 to 15 seconds. Now, RSS based are the ones which they are algorithms which are based on RSSI, received signal strength. They are the most basic types. They were used in 1Gs and 2G, and they are the ones which take the lowest time. But they have a inherent problem of ping pong effect. Ping pong effect is an effect in which the wireless connection, it constantly moves from one base station to another base station like a ping pong in a tennis match. So what happens is when the RSSI decreases, then it moves to another base station. When the RSSI there decreases, then it moves to another base station. This generally happens when we are moving on an edge. So when we are moving on, let's say, Delhi to Haryana border, there will be a base station in Delhi, and then there will be a base station in Haryana. Therefore, when I'm moving through the edge, I will constantly have a ping pong effect if I'm using RSS and QoS based. Now, in a QoS based function, what we have is we focus more on the type of the function, type of the connection. Means what is the type of the quality of service that I'm getting? What is the call blocking rate? What is the call dropping rate? And what is the kind of QoS that the user is getting? So initially, RSS was about whether or not I'm getting the signal. Now QoS is about the user. It is all about the user experience. whether I'm getting a good service or not, whether a good quality or not. So the decision function based, intelligent handover based, and context based. The decision function based are the ones in which you make a cost function, and those cost functions are made on the basis of different parameters. You give certain weights to those different parameters, and then you find out which one, how the different algorithms would work. And you may have several candidates for handover, you mark them, and then you give them ranks on the basis of that cost function. And intelligent handover schemes, on which is the handover scheme which I will be proposing. These are basically neuro-fuzzy and neural network and fuzzy based systems. The problem is that they have very high overheads, because we need a lot of computation time, but at the same time, they're very precise. And the last one are context based. They are context, there's a very, very important aspect that we generally more focus on in the 5G and 6G is the context. So my battery information, my information about my phone, what kind of subscription I'm taking. All this information is also important. Context-based schemes are probably the best schemes that are being researched these days. So there's a problem with these schemes as well. The government has recently said that you cannot give your network on the basis of the kind of subscription that a person is taking. So there is still a lot of gossip about it in the Indian Express and all, because it says that it kind of goes over the concept of net neutrality, where everybody is being treated as the same. But if I'm working in Qualcomm or Airtel, I would want the person who has paid more to get a better QoS. So this is my that, and this I have simulated in NetSim. It's an SINR based scheme in which you have different UEs connected to different base stations. Then on the basis of that, they have different movements on the basis of random mobility. Now or what you see on the screen, the first two are the ones, this is a throughput versus time graph. The first one is the one where the person has a pedestrian mobility, right? So the handover
what is that captions you have given to these figures?
The caption
I would suggest whatever picture you are using in your PPT, do give some captions to those pictures.
Yeah, it is there. It's throughput bidirectional aggregated response. It's on the top of the screen.
Right. Captions are always at the bottom. All right. I have few things to ask. Maybe I'm asking it in between. We are facing that call drop issue majorly.
Yes.
And there is also some cross connections that are being done. I mean, that are being happening in these days. How your model is going to work on it? Is there any kind of solution from your end?
Yes, ma'am. The methodology that I'm proposing is this one. Is the one which has a FIS system, neuro-fuzzy system. In this, we have different rules. And on the basis of those rules, one of the rules would be that that when the RSS drops below this level, then the connection has to take place. Therefore, what happens is you make before you break.
If it is so easy, why the existing services are not doing it?
Ma'am, the reason for that is somewhat that in a lot of areas, when the density increases, they give the same bandwidth through different users. And till the time the user does not tell or complain that I can hear the other person, this is a business strategy that more than one different companies are seen giving the same bandwidth to different customers.
You have not simulated this scenario yet, right?
This one I haven't. The SINR that I have. And
because the last thing,
the
last thing is only that I may see a lot of content in your PPT. So I'll suggest that you are explaining, much better in a much better way. So there is no need to include such kind of content. If you can see on the present slide, also on the previous slides, it's a suggestion to you that you may skip all this content written thing on your PPT. So it's better, it should be self-explanatory.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Actually, I wanted to put only the pointers, but I thought maybe because I'm presenting the paper.
Not required. At the time of presentations, you must avoid it.
Okay, ma'am.
It gives the negative impact. All right.
Thank
For
you
the future. Thank you. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Ms. Madhuri. You may stop sharing your screen. Now, what I'd like to call upon paper ID 337 with paper title An Investigation into the Performance of DHKE Algorithm over Different Network Topologies in Cryptography Networks. Paper ID 337. Okay, I think they are not here. So next will be paper ID 486 with paper title ASH OS, a comprehensive Linux-based operating system with optimized user interface.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Mr. Vijay, please share your presentation.
Paper ID
From this is paper ID 486.
486.
Yeah. So good afternoon to one and all present here. And thank you, Pranay sir, for giving me the chance to present my work. So my work is AshOS, a comprehensive Linux-based operating system with optimized user interface. So what basically we have done, like uh, in an era of digital enhancements, there is a need of a laptop or a device, a digital device for everyone. But the thing is, there are many limitations, or we can say there are many hurdles when you try to manage a physical device. So we have created an operating system which supports Windows applications and Android application and have a long lasting battery. So uh, let me just give a brief introduction like what we have done and why we are supposed to do this. So there are operating systems around, like we can name it on like Windows, Mac OS, and there are other Linux also. There is Chrome OS also. But the problem with all these operating system is this: there is nothing which combines all of the features they provide. So we just tried to combine all the features and just to provide a superior alternative to whatever Linux or operating system you are using right now. So So what are the existing systems or what are the existing operating systems that are there?
Abhishek,
So
can you come to the features of the main highlighted features of your created operating system? And you might have done some kind of the comparison of your feature-wise comparison of the operating system existing ones.
yeah. So if I can just have 30 seconds to list what were the problems and how we have overcome it. So if we take Windows that everyone is using, so the biggest problem with Windows laptop is it's bulky and it uses more RAM, and also it gives a shorter battery life. And then if we move on towards the Mac OS, then it's expensive. It's a premium user kind of a thing. And if you want to use any features or if you want to use any open source app, then there are more complications. First, you have to be certified from Apple side to publish that app, and then you can use that app on Mac OS. And if we move on to the Linux, which is a open source operating system, so Linux provide us the space, but the learning curve is very high. So choosing Linux won't be a better option for someone who is newer to the field of digital things. So okay, so we read some papers which told us like what were the enhancement and how the things changed over the year, and how there are things like CPU utilization monitor tools are there, but the companies are not using it well, or the or in the Linux it is there, but it lacks other features. So we sat down and made a proposal that we can make a operating system which has all the features of the existing ones, like Windows apps. Windows apps are like, we are known to those apps, so we
So
tend
is
to
it
use them.
implementable work or is it a theoretical concept you have introduced?
We have we have implemented the AshOS, and you can just
Can
go
I
to
see that?
ashos.versal.app to
Okay.
download a ISO for yourself.
Do you have some screenshots in the PPT?
I have one,
Yeah,
and
please
I
move to
can show
that.
you guys.
Hmm. Just a minute, backslide. The
This
backslide.
is how it looks.
Yeah,
And
here. No, the previous one.
this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
So about the results, we tested our operating system initially on a particular system so that we can install all the other operating system on it and compare, like, is it better or is it only a
So you
theoretical?
use the common hardware platform, and on
Yeah.
that you have installed different operating systems so as to have the common parameters. I mean, the hardware-based
Yeah.
parameters should
Yeah.
be the same
So
one.
that the parameters are common, and we can thoroughly test and say that our operating system is a better alternative for what you are using now. So
Okay. Have you gone for some patent or any other white paper or something?
no,
You've gone for?
no, not till now.
Can I see your claimed results?
Yeah, sure. So we tested and we found that the booting time, the time taken to get the screen, the in which we communicate with the hardwares. So
Okay,
that
what
time,
kind of the changes are required for the ROM or the bootstrap loader or other kind of the manufacturing level programs to be done?
we haven't changed any manufacturing level bootloader or anything. We just optimized the apps that were initialized when the operating system is booted. So we just reduce those apps. Like when we talk about Windows, Windows loads many apps when you boot first time. You can avoid them, but there are many background activities that Windows keep tracks on. So
Any changes in the core operating system functions?
yeah, we implemented a TLP configuration so that your battery optimization would be better, like uh, uh, providing the power to specific hardware. We have reduced it. Like if you don't want to use a specific hardware, you won't be providing power to that particular hardware. Like
Any
if,
changes in the process synchronization technique?
I don't think so.
You know what is process synchronization?
No, I'm not getting it now.
Now, this is the core part of your operating system. This is how the operating system manages the execution of the processes in the RAM.
Yeah, we have done some things on that also. Like if the process is no longer in use, then that process is not provided with the RAM, and it is transferred to the cache memory.
All right, my
introduce
last question. Your operating system which you are proposing, do it supports virtual memory?
Yeah,
Okay.
it do support.
All right. So any difference in the way the previous and the existing operating systems are managing your virtual memory and yours one?
Yeah, there is a difference. Like in the current system, it uses virtual memory on a page basis. We create and we add it to the virtual memory. And whenever we require, we just grab it out. And in our system, we reduce it and we reduce the cache, because sometimes we frequently use some particular apps like browser and other. So we only have to have them in the virtual memory. But
Got your
there are
point.
apps but there are apps that are not used frequently. So we won't be using it in the virtual memory.
I'm done. Thank you so very much. Nice one.
So should I keep up or?
No, it's done. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Abizad. Next, I would like to please stop sharing. Okay, thank you. Next, I would like to call paper ID 530 with the paper title Integrating Smart Technologies in Heritage Interpretation of Historic Gardens for Enhancing Visitor Experiences. I repeat, paper ID 530. Are they here?
Yes, sir. Just a second.
Okay.
I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you're audible.
Just a second.
If possible, please switch on your video and start sharing your
So
presentation.
actually, I'm facing some connectivity issue.
That's
That is
okay.
why-
That's okay. Please
Just
start
see
with
if
the
my
presentation.
slides are visible.
Yeah.
Just a second. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Is the
your
slide visible?
slides are visible. Yeah, your slides are visible. Please start your presentation.
Just a second, sir. Just want to introduce myself that I am architect Mona Sood and I'm from architecture domain, and the presentations that I've been seeing since morning are very technical and from the, I think, computer science stream. In this presentation, me and my co-author, Dr. Harveen Bhandari, have actually come up with something novel, that how the intersection between historic heritage, society, and technology. So the contents are abstract, introductions, conceptual model, case study proposal, which we'll see later also. And the abstract is that these historic gardens are precious natural and
If
heritage
you can
sites.
please slideshow. You can start with the slideshow.
I'm running the slideshow only. It's not
No,
visible?
actually,
No,
it's
the
not.
slideshow is not visible.
Oh,
I think
what
you
should
have
I-
not shared the whole screen. If you may share the whole screen, then only we will be able to see that.
Just a second, I'll share it again, I think.
Yeah.
I'm just getting the option share. Screen. Okay.
So it's a complete screen. Right.
Yeah. And then can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can see.
we can
And
see your
now
screen.
I'll open
go to
this
your-
again. I'll open the PPT
Yes.
again. So maybe.
Now go for the slideshow.
Yeah.
Now it is perfectly okay.
Okay, can you see these slides now?
Yes,
Abstract,
yes, yes.
research, emphasize.
Wait,
So
wait,
this
wait.
research emphasizes the need and significance of integrating smart technologies in heritage interpretation of historic gardens to enrich visitor experiences and achieve positive outcomes. And a comprehensive literature review has been done to examine the impact of various smart technologies on different dimensions of visitor experiences, which we'll see later in the slides. Then a case study approach has been undertaken to demonstrate how limited and outdated interpretation aids, they often hamper visitors understanding and appreciation of the garden. And also it also demonstrates how digital interpretation techniques and tools can be integrated to enhance visitor experiences using the softwares that we architects use, like AutoCAD, 3D Max, and Photoshop, how it can be integrated with the historic garden interpretation. So historic garden is just an introduction that they have a lot of cultural significance, but due to lack of state-of-the-art interpretation techniques, they fail to engage or enthuse modern-day visitors. They are the most coveted recreation and tourist attractions, but most of the many gardens, in fact, they are not able to attract visitors because they lack these technological innovations for the modern-day visitors. And many historic gardens, they are not able to generate revenues, and that's the reason why they are facing neglect and abandonment. This I'm talking about the global scenario right now, and we need to revolutionize the ways visitors engage with the gardens and how they experience these historic gardens, so as for the sustainability of these gardens. And existing studies, the emergence of new technological trajectories, they have revolutionized the concept of historic sites like AR, VR, mobile applications. And leveraging smart technologies for enhancing heritage interpretation and transforming visitor experiences is basically, the researchers are focusing mainly on the museums, whereas in historic gardens it is nascent endeavor. And few scholarly studies have been done where the contribution of digital technologies in the historic garden have been undertaken, but they are basically focusing more on conservation and education. So heritage interpretation and enhancing visitor experiences is still under researched. So this current study, it addresses this gap by exploring how the adoption of smart technology in heritage interpretation can enhance various dimensions of visitor experiences and achieve positive outcomes in terms of visitor overall satisfaction, behavior intention, and emotional engagement. Basically, we are talking about taking historic gardens and the interface of heritage, technology, and society. So literature survey was done where the related work was done, and the smart technologies were studied. A comprehensive literature review was done so that we can see how heritage can intersect with these technologies and their impact on visitor experiences. So we've taken those technologies which can play a vital role in heritage interpretation, for example, IoT, and seen a lot of papers where the advancement of technologies we are working on, where we are seeing there are a lot of advancements, and we're preparing codes, algorithms, and everything. But then what about their application? We can see the application of technology in medical sector, in transportation, monitoring, security, agriculture, banks, electricity, and all. But what about our heritage? We now, smart heritage is actually a very nascent field. So this is where we want to bring this out, that smart technologies are actually very vital for heritage interpretation. Then we've studied augmented reality devices. Application of this has been shown later, so I'm not going into much details. It's just that through papers we've seen that how AR, the role that it can play in heritage interpretation, and the impact on visitor experiences it can have. Then virtual
if I can ask you here something,
Yes,
you
yes,
are
please.
talking about these smart technologies that
Yeah.
that may be enhancing the the heritage background and all.
Yes.
Do you have any kind of or you may be having a slide in it which is going to showcase the impact of these smart technologies on it? Any improvement in terms of some parametric analysis or some kind of studied analysis you have done?
Ma'am, I have actually, after this table, this is just a short table where we've taken all the smart technologies
all
that
these
can
smart
be used.
technologies are
Yeah.
there, right?
And then these papers, for example, they talk about the mobile applications in heritage and then what impact they can have. Some of them are not directly telling about the impact, because this is the gap that I have taken, that the relationship between heritage, that is historic gardens, heritage interpretation, and visitor experiences has not been explored. For this, after the literature review, yes, a model, a conceptual model was prepared. We formulated a conceptual model which illustrates that integration of smart technologies in heritage, it positively impacts 9 key dimensions of visitor experience. These variables were identified from the literature review that we did, and which further impacts visitors' overall satisfaction, behavioral intention.
Okay, so that means you might have taken some kind of the inputs from the visitors, some kind of the
but then it is a
you might
case
have
study.
done.
Yeah, it is a case study approach in Rambagh
How
Garden,
did you
Amritsar.
How did you collect all the data?
Yeah, that is what I'm telling you. We actually, a structured questionnaire was floated.
Yeah,
And we went to actually, I belong to Amritsar, and then this is the Rambagh Garden, which is very, very culturally and historically very significant, because it was built as a magnificent summer retreat for Emperor Ranjit Singh, one of the 20 greatest world leaders. And it is the city of Golden Temple, where more than 30,000 visitors come every day, visit this city, that is domestic and international, visit every day. But to this garden, which is equally important, not exactly equally, but is very significant, hardly 10 to 15 people come, and we interviewed them. I have the pictures also, but I haven't put it here, the survey pictures and all. So we interviewed those people, and they were not at all satisfied. They had some emotional connection due to Emperor Ranjit Singh. But for example, the garden, it has lost
We
its
usually
special.
have heard about Golden Temple, and we usually go there and we talk about Baga border, but we do not talk about this Rambagh Garden that is in Amritsar.
Next time, if you visit Amritsar, and you come to Rambagh Garden, and you'll realize this is the scenario of Rambagh Garden, where the historic core has somewhat lost its spatial character, because it was designed on Charbagh concept. Then during the British rule, it was all transformed, and now it is hodgepodge of styles.
So your work is to showcase the study which you have done from the people, and you are trying to give the impact that with the help of the smart technologies, you can make these heritage places more more known to the people.
Yes, the
right?
reason is not only creating awareness, but also appreciation for these gardens, and not only as an educational or conservation tool. Because if you see the papers related to historic gardens, I'm just coming forward. I'll just let you know, this is the transformations that the garden has gotten through, but nobody is aware of these transformations. It is all there in the archives, in the books, because my research topic for PhD is historic gardens. So I had to look for them. And this is the reason what motivated me to take this topic, that why is it not available in the public domain? Why is it not available online? Why do I have to, go to offices and all, when everything has been done? Now, all these maps are actually available, but it is not available in the public domain. So these are available. I had to search for them. That is the proposal also. I'll just come to it. And then it has some magnificent structures. I haven't put all the buildings, just the summer palace, but all the structures are very magnificent. But the only thing is that this central summer palace is known to people, which has been converted to a museum. But the rest of the structures which are marked red, people are not even aware of it. And these structures are abandoned, though they have beautiful architecture, and they remain undiscovered by visitors. And the interpretation methods that have been used in this museum, in the garden there is no interpretation method as such, but in the museum that has been used are all traditional static displays, textual information, and it lacks communication about the architectural, artistic, and botanical, horticultural aspects of this garden. So people are hardly aware, they are hardly impressed, it hardly arouses any interest. And then the visitor experiences dimensions that I am talking about, they are actually, nobody is impressed. And so
I think not at the place also, but it can be publicly available, so that people get to know about the the background details of any heritage place, and it should be
exactly, that is what I'm saying, that it should be in the public domain, but it is not available properly even at that place. So public domain comes secondary. It is not there. I have the pictures also of the museum interiors, but I think for the survey and for this presentation,
survey in the next slide, where you have showcased these questionnaire, obviously you have given some questions to the people, you have taken these responses from them. What is it smart technology's role into it?
Yeah, I'm coming to that proposal, ma'am. This is something that I have gathered.
I understood this. I understood. You may
This is the societal this thing survey. Then the previous one was the literature survey, where we are actually seeing the advancements that have taken in technology, and you people are doing such a great job. But my question is, then why not it is applied in heritage? I mean, my question, motivate me is to bridge the past, present, and future, in which technology can play a huge role. So this is my proposal now, and please forgive me if there's something is lacking, because I've tried my best to research about these smart technologies as well. But what we have focused more on is our softwares that we use. For example, in the museum there is a model of the garden, model of the garden, but then there is no information about the garden, no audio guides, nothing is not. People come and see the model and go. They don't even realize that this is model of the historic core that existed during Maharaja Ranjit Singh's time. So we propose that in the model we can have a RFID tag receiver, that mobile wireless access the visitor can have, and an HTML document can emerge where all the information is put. And then this allows knowledge acquisition, interest, immersive experiences, the dimensions that we're talking about. Then we also talk that in my survey, the basic problem challenge that people were experiencing was that the garden, the heritage core is in the center, and around this the buffer area is developed, so nobody is aware of the core, so they don't know how to navigate this outside. So we've given some simple solutions. It's not like there's a lot of advancement, but then they won't spend money and all, but we've given some simple solutions, that the architecture department of the same city has prepared digital maps. Even the Hriday and the Gurmeet Rai CRSI have prepared digital maps, which are there on internet, but people are not aware of it, because these are Hriday documents. Only if you know, you can access it. So these maps are there, and these maps, and this is something that we authors have created, is the actual real life model. We've used 3D Max, Photoshop, and this can be done through drone also, but we couldn't do it, so we did it in 3D Max, Photoshop. And so these IoT based GPS tracking software can be used, which actually allows for self-guide audio tour also, and people can navigate the sites, their areas of interest, and this allows personalization also, where you can directly go to the places of your interest, but it will give you an idea about all the places of interest, which right now is missing, and you have no idea how to even access the museum, and there are structures within the site which nobody is aware of.
Have you gone through some existing solutions also, like similar kind of?
Ma'am, actually, if you see this is an Indian context where as such, no such initiatives have been taken. But yes, if you take heritage UNESCO sites, like
There's
this
a lot of
Garden of
scope into
Versailles.
it. There's a
Yeah,
lot of scope into it.
Garden of Versailles, if you see, there are few very limited historic gardens which are of international recognition, like UNESCO sites. There they have created AR and VR, but then the people are not aware of it. And now, but this is technology driven world where people are aware of latest technologies, and if you go and see just the dioramas or just the static, nobody's interested. For example, when I met some family people, their kids were actually, you know, telling them to just leave the place. They were not at all interested in staying, and we want them to learn about our heritage in an interesting manner. These dull and boring displays can never allure a kid, at least. So this is something for the general public, how they can acquire knowledge, and IoT based GPS tracking softwares and all. And then we've developed this on 3D Max Photoshop, where we say that people know where they are standing, and it gives them the location idea where how they can access different areas. These are two solutions. Then the other solution is that how we architects work on this, that digitalization is done, where a digital camera is used, or laser scanning and photogrammetry is used by the professionals, and then Google Earth or Google Maps using Scan 2 CAD is used, and then extruding 3D polyline on AutoCAD, rendering 3D Max. This is how we prepare these virtual images, which is not a high task or very cost intensive. That cannot be done. But we're talking about something that is cost effective also and can create interest. So this is how we do. And then we are actually proposing a cloud computing platform where all the documentation that has been done, the archives, the historic photographs, the information, the virtual models, walkthroughs, videos, whatever are there, and then that cloud computing platform that is either dedicated to that particular garden, or it can be a public cloud computing platform also, where other people can also access this information. And then how digitization is done, the architects do this much, and the engineering people, they do the coding and all. But we are talking about the integration. Once this documentation is done, so this can be stored in cloud computing platform and made available to general public through these RFID tags or barcodes. And they can, and then there are two more things that we are talking about is the this is the virtual reconstruction of the historic core that we again did in 3D Max view, that if people enter this, and they can actually view it through augmented reality, where the botanical heritage is not clear to people. So if they take their mobiles close to any historical tree, that information can crop up about, and this all can be connected to the cloud computing. The access can be from the cloud computing platform, where whatever they target the image, that information can come. And then for these kids also, for them to learn about historic gardens in an innovative way, we can have scavenger hunt games and all. And I've given the reference also from where we've taken this idea. And there can be audio guides also, which can self-guide, or there could be audio guides. And at every destination, information could be generated either through augmented reality, or there could be audio guides, or there could be storytelling also, depends upon the software, mobile applications that are there. So when a lot of technology is available, why can't it be applied in heritage and make it fun to learn, and something that is really knowledgeable? So these are few proposals that we've given. And so this research presents a case study to explore the linkage between smart technologies, heritage interpretation, and visitor experience. It demonstrates that how limited interpretation and displays can actually affect overall experience and satisfaction levels. And it also highlights that adopting technology-based interpretation methods can provide information in a more engaging, entertaining, and creative manner, which can capture the interest of the audiences, because they are normally history seekers or leisure seekers. So they can appreciate the garden, and this makes the garden socially and economically sustainable also. And future enhancements are a lot more, because if I'm sharing this with engineering people, they can take up more technologies, how it can be integrated with the historic gardens. The model, that conceptual model that we formulated, can be actually empirical studies can be done. And as you suggested, comparative studies can be done, where these some of these technologies are already there, and like I had some negative results about visitor satisfaction, probably they'll have some positive results. Let's see, let's compare. And then we all can also identify barriers and
secondly,
challenges.
after implementing smart technologies, then again the survey can be done, so that a responsive comparative analysis can also be done.
Ma'am, my son, sorry for being personal, but my son is doing computer and engineering from NIT Rourkela. And yesterday only I talked to him that I want actually a game for kids because you people don't enjoy. And he said that it is not that difficult. We can actually, develop these
Right.
softwares where a game can be done. So it is not difficult. It is just that something to motivate you and something that I've presented, that technology kahan tak chali gayi, and you people are actually discussing that. But I'm seeing that in the basics also, that in some fields, it is not even, it is at a very nascent stage. So this is
Very nice presentation.
Thank
And lot of scope is there in the work.
Yeah, enhancements a lot of there where I think people can take on from here and think of some technologies which are cost effective so that it is not
But
capital
it is
intensive.
nicely presented. Thank you so very much. Thank
Thank
you.
you, ma'am.
I think we are left with the last paper ID, which is 337.
Ma'am,
Paper.
please wait. Ma'am, we have one more paper, 725.
725, right? We are
yeah.
also left with 725. Okay.
But where is he?
337 is there?
No, ma'am, 337 is not able to join.
All right, perfect.
They are saying that they
No
have some
issues.
problem. And 725 is
So
also
let's
just
allow
left.
725. So it's the last paper of this session.
He has just left. He was in the meeting. Dr. Alisher, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I'm hearing you.
Alisha, he is there in the meeting.
Alisher is in the meeting, but he is the one who will be attending. The other one was supposed to present. He is not here. He has just left the meeting. I don't know why.
Because of a network issue, I think, because he just hardly joined the meeting because of the registration date. I'm not sure why he left. Let me confirm. Let me ask him.
Can you please ask Dr. Alisher? Can you please
Yes.
ask him to try to join
Yes,
again?
yes. Ask. I'm asking him.
We can wait for a few moments. That's not a problem.
Yes, ma'am. We'll wait for a few moments.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll be in the session.
Yeah.
Now he's rejoining because of the internet problem. Not he, just his internet just out. So he's joining now. I'm sorry for inconvenience.
Mr. Abdul Rahman, you may start presenting. Yeah, your audio. Mr. Abdul Rahman, can you please start your presentation?
Can you hear me?
You may switch off
Yes,
your
I can
camera.
see, I can see you, but can you please start your presentation?
Yeah, share the screen. You may switch off your camera.
Okay. So, share. Just a moment.
We are waiting.
Document.
Mr. Abdul Rahman.
So I think he's in the base floor. That's why maybe his internet is not so good, I guess.
Dr. Abhishek, I would like to remind you that the session time is already over. We cannot
Yes,
keep
sir, I
the
know.
chair waiting, right?
Yes, I know. Sir.
Can you share the
Ma'am, I was trying to have a word with paper ID 337, but she's in India, so I'm not able to contact her right now at the moment. So we will consider her as absent.
No issues, sir.
She was earlier in the meeting, but now she's not able to join.
No issues.
okay, like and
I think someone is trying to say something, but I'm not able to hear it properly.
can you hear me?
Yes,
Hello.
I can hear. I think it's Abdul Rahman, but we are not able to see the presentation.
Now I will try to share the presentation and he will talk, I guess.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Rather, can you share the presentation I have sent? Because I can't because of
To whom have you sent?
it's very slow.
Sir, I will send to Pranav, sir, I will send to you because I joined with my phone now, but I can't share
Okay,
the
please send it to
PPT.
me fast. Please send it to me fast. Yeah, I received it. Let me just download it. Mr. Rahman, the PPT is getting downloaded. When it's download, I will open it up. Then you may start. Hello. Yes, ma'am. I have sent you. I have sent you a link on WhatsApp. Please try to join through that link if possible. No, ma'am. Please try with that link that I have sent you. Okay. Still not visible. Okay. PPT might have been downloaded. Check. Yeah.
Is it visible?
Wait.
Hello, can you hear me? Is it visible?
No, Abdul Rahman, nothing is visible. I am trying to open your PPT. Just wait. Please just wait. Okay, Abdul Rahman, can you see? I have shared your PPT.
No, nothing. Nothing is visible. No, just a moment. Just a moment. Yes, it is visible.
Okay. So your topic
Thank you
is
for
computing Hausdorff dimension of invariant measures of circle maps. Please continue.
So, thank you for giving me a chance to speak, to talk this conference. Our topic is computing Hausdorff dimension of invariant measure of circle maps. Can you please next?
We have moved on. Please continue.
Next, please.
Okay. Mr. Abdul Rahman, are you able to view it?
I'm so sorry about bad internet connection. So here given an examples, some examples for using Hausdorff dimensions or this kind of dimensions. So first picture is given the coastline paradox. If you measure the coastline of the Great Britain by 100 kilometers, you can get 2005 length 2,800 kilometers. If you measure it more closely, you can see it's the length of coastline can be greater. Then also here given another example, which is called cock flag, snowflake. So here given in the first picture, you can see in triangle, and for each step, the side of triangle can divide by 3 parts, and instead of middle part, it can put some triangle. It can put a triangle which side equals to this length. Then after doing some iterations, we have some kind of shape which if we calculate the perimeter of this shape, it tends to the infinity, and area of this shape is bounded. You can see by these formulas. Then next, please. Calculation of Hausdorff dimension can be given these formulas. You can see the first formula here notation. The first formula is Hausdorff content of E, which d-dimensional Hausdorff content of E with the parameter R. It means that here given the set A, which open cover of this set, and we can take infimum of this radius to the power of D, and if we get limit as R tends to 0, we can get Hausdorff dimension of the set E. Then also we can find Hausdorff dimension of E and Hausdorff dimension of the measure by these kind of formulas. Next, please. Next slide, please.
Can you come to your results part?
Hello?
Can you hear me, Mr. Abdurrahman?
Mm-hmm.
Can you discuss please your results? Are you able to view this?
Yes, sir. His internet connection is not so good. So results are just we are considering piecewise linear maps with 2 breakpoints. If you can see here that we have 2 breakpoints where there's a point around the 0.2 there it's bending, and the second one is here nearby between 0.4 and 0.6. These are our breakpoints, and the sigma is the break size. This which left derivative divided by right derivative will give the break size. Abdurrahman, can you hear? So actually, our Tx is just pure rotation of the circle, just which we rotate our circle to the angle theta. So theta is our rotation angle, sir.
Okay, sir.
Can we go to the next slide?
Yeah, sure.
This is our results. So output, just we just Abdurrahman is evaluated this using Python program. It would be better if he could explain this. Abdurrahman, can you explain this part?
There is one suggestion that whenever you're going to put up the images in the PPT, so please do mention the captions of those pictures or any graph or anything which you're putting up as a picture, right?
Yes. Actually, in the first one, we are given the parameter theta, the values, which is the value of the rotation. Theta.
So can you conclude your PPT in few words?
Mr. Abdurrahman, can you please conclude your PPT? Dr. Ali Chair, can you please conclude the PPT?
Yes. So here we are. These B points are just our intervals, the values which between the 0, 1 we are taking, and the theta is our rotation. So we are considering the circle rotation with 2 breakpoints, and the table is giving us the values in the Hausdorff dimension.
So I suggest that if you you're done with your results and other things, so for the next time or for the future work, you should also go for some comparative analysis of your work with some existing ones, right?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, this result is from the pure mass. So we try to apply in IT. So we try to take the objects and try to consider the application of this circle dimension in the Hausdorff and computing the Hausdorff dimension using the circle maps.
All right. Thank you so very much. Thank you for the presentation.
Thank you
so much, Dr. Ali Chair.
Yes, sir. So sorry for inconvenience because the Mr. Abdurrahman was ready for this, but
okay.
because of his
It's all right.
internet issue.
It's all right.
Okay.
It's all right.
Okay.
Ma'am, we have just now one paper left, but I don't think that she is able to join. Paper ID 337. So I think that we can conclude the session. That is
Yeah,
okay
please.
with you?
Yeah, perfectly fine. Thank you so very much.
Now, I would like to extend my thanks to the session chairs for their valuable insights into the presented articles. Your valuable technical comments and remarks would definitely support the researchers to flourish in their research career. We are grateful to Dr. Mandeep and Dr. Yugananda for their sincere evaluation. Thank you, ma'am. We would like to extend a sincere thanks to the presenters for their significant contributions in presenting the technical observations. Your participation is the key behind the success of the conference. Thank you to each and every presenter for being with us. Now we request all of you to take part in the session of the conference to get knowledge on the research direction. After the moments we have valedictory, you can join on. Best 3 papers will be announced today in the valedictory sessions from 1:45 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. as per the Uzbekistan time, and as per Indian time, it will be 2:15 to 4 p.m. So kindly stay connected with us. Once again, we thank everyone for your active participation and contribution. Now the session is over. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.